Legal issues. Pop-up shops are by definition a lower risk enterprise than opening a permanent retail store, but there are still some legal considerations, such as negotiating terms for use of space with the landlord, obtaining adequate insurance coverage, and any necessary municipal permits. Let's start by looking at those. It'll depend on what you are selling. Permits are official documents issued by a municipality for a fee. For example, if you're a pop-up restaurant selling food or drinks, you will likely require a license permit prior to opening. An inspection and approval of the commercial kitchen will be part of the process if food is being prepared on the premises. It's important to seek a good understanding about any permits that will be required by a potential pop-up business. There will be financial implications and costs, and often a waiting period for the permit to be approved. A Main Street retail storefront will be zoned to allow many retail uses. Since the regulations and zoning requirements in most municipalities do not differentiate between temporary and permanent businesses, you'll need to be sure that the commercial space is zoned to allow the type of business you plan to open. For example, retail, restaurant, pub, coffee shop. You can check the website of your local municipality to get more information. Let's take a look at rental agreements. It can be a challenge to find a landlord who's willing to rent their storefront on a temporary basis. There will undoubtedly be some negotiations, and the pop-up tenant should be prepared to present a compelling case. The rental agreement with the landlord is one of the most important documents a pop-up tenant will sign. A license agreement is an alternative to a lease. It's still a legal contract, and it grants permission from the property owner to the licensee for a specific use of the space. These types of agreements are typically used in neighborhood revitalization projects and work well where there's a central administering body. The Danforth East Pop-Up Shop project license agreements included a 30-day notice clause to vacate the property that could be given by either the landlord or the tenant. And this made our licenses more appealing to landlords because if they found a permanent tenant, they could give notice to the pop-up. You might want to rent a space, and a lease is agreement between a landlord and tenant that conveys an exclusive interest in the property for a specified period. This agreement will set out the obligations of both the landlord and tenant, such as rent, operating costs such as utilities, maintenance, and leasehold improvements. Pop-up shop tenants may choose to negotiate a short-term lease with a landlord. Just remember that commercial tenancies do not have the same protections as residential tenancies, and the Ontario Residential Landlord-Tenant Act does not apply to commercial tenants. You'll also have HST payable on top of the lease amount. Before signing any legal document, it's advisable to seek assistance from a solicitor. Legal contracts are complex, and it's vital that both parties have a clear understanding of what they're committing to. Insuring your pop-up shop. If you're renting a storefront location, obtaining insurance will be vital to opening your pop-up shop venture, since commercial general liability insurance will be required by your landlord. Temporary or short-term pop-up insurance policies can be harder to obtain and may present a barrier to opening a shop. If you're organizing a pop-up shop neighborhood revitalization project, you may be able to obtain a year-long blanket insurance policy for all your potential pop-up shops. This is an economical and effective approach and is how DECA provided insurance for all of its pop-up tenants. Commercial general liability insurance protects a pop-up tenant if a customer is injured on the business premises or if a customer's personal property is damaged. Slipping and falling is one of the most common injuries, and this type of accident may occur inside the store or outside on the sidewalk. It's very important for a business and a property owner to be protected against these types of accidents. Contents insurance is a type of insurance that protects any of your merchandise, fixtures, and equipment within the premises in case of damage or theft or fire. This type of insurance is worthwhile considering depending on your budget so as to protect your investment. Talk to a broker. An insurance broker can help arrange your pop-up insurance. You need to be prepared to answer a number of questions in order to get the pop-up insurance. Your broker is going to need things like the name of your business and the name of the owner, the type of business it is, the projected earnings, and your experience in this field, number of employees you will have, the location address, the type of building, information about smoke detectors and burglar alarms, and how long your pop-up shop is going to last, the opening and closing date.